Alright, everybody. Well, this is the time people have been waiting for. Might have been one or two of y'all, but we're going to hear this car talk. Now, I just got done. I was recording and I got a phone call, and it was a spam. A Google advertising spokesperson, which that's a scam, obviously. So I'm going to come over here and shut the door to my reptile room. I don't want the fumes going into there. Now, flip the camera around, kind of show you some things. So we got my oil gauge, that's basically trash that I messed up here. So make sure I got oil pressure. I got my water temperature gauge just hooked up, so make sure I don't overheat or anything like that. All my wires are good. We got the charging system over there on the battery, just make sure. So we did have a fuel leak. Got that fixed. Hopefully it doesn't pop back up again. So, got that. I got the tach setting right there, so therefore I know what RPM I'm at. I want to be right at 1,000 RPM, just idling. So, that. So, I do got my fuel line. My fuel pump is hooked to, basically my switch is just two wires put together, which that's not the fuel line yet. That's actually for the spark system. That's how I'm going to shut the car off. So, that is probably going to be hooked to something. Either if I turn the key off, it goes off, or something like that. But basically, that power wire that goes to the box has to stay on during cranking, because that gives the spark to the distributor. So, yeah. Okay, so we got that hooked up. The ignition switch is being a pain in the butt today. I got to go back and fix it. But okay, well there we go. God dang it, the fumes. She's burning something off at the headers. Because, yeah, you see all, let that clear up. You see all the haziness? This is from her, from Papa Smart from it. So, good thing is, no fuel leaks. I do have a couple oil leaks you saw. Yeah, she's leaking. I think she's leaking from the valve cover, honestly, because I can't see nothing at the rear main seal, but I'm seeing stuff on the steering gear, and then where the pitman arm and all that is, steering box right there. Like, okay, so we're under here, and you see what I'm saying? There's this oil right there. See, the oil is coming from up there. It's on that spark plug, so that's what I'm thinking. Let's see if the camera zoom in. Yeah, see it right there? So I think it's coming off of the valve cover, honestly. So, if that's so, it's coming down here and dripping on a few things, and it's getting and here. Thank goodness it's not my rear main seal over there. So that's good, because it dripping off right here had me kind of worried, thinking, oh crap, you saw that drip right there maybe. Seeing it right there in the middle, I was thinking it was my rear main seal coming right at the bottom there, but no, it's not leaking though. That's all clean in there. Yeah, it's all clean up there. So it's going down here, dripping down here, coming here, but it's also dripping over here and running down here. Boom, there. They see that drip just there? So that's not a lot of oil, but I don't want this thing leaking at all. So yeah, so we're gonna have to fix that, but I'm gonna let her cool down. You can see right here where she's so freaking low that I've scraped before on this thing. I've got new shocks going in here, and I need to treat all that up there, but surface rust. But got new ball joints, new lower control arm, new sway bar end links. I need to get those rotors turned. So, but yeah, I need to treat that surface rust with some rust preventer. But that's what I've been doing with basically everything in here. You can still see some surface rust, because like I said, this is for the 70s, and I don't have a rotisserie to actually do this whole thing. There's my transmission. I need to make a brace for it instead of having a jack stand holding it up. I got the one that I made back when I was 17 or 18, but I want to make a tubular one that's a lot stronger. But yeah, so I got to fix that. Over on that header, hang on. Over on this header, you'll see some of the smoke still coming off that. She's burning something off on there that I got on there a long time ago. And yeah, they're rusty headers because they're 10 years old. But they have no holes in them and they work just fine. They're just tubes is all they are. So I put them back in here. But yeah. So she was burning something off here. I didn't see no exhaust, like smoke coming out of the exhaust. Actually, it was all coming off of here, and with the fan blowing it back, it was catching exhaust, and then it was going along with the exhaust. So my rear pinion, or my rear seal on the transmission wasn't leaking, so we're good on that. So yeah, as I was saying, is got new parts. I accidentally threw these things away right here, but that wouldn't be an issue. I've got some really heavy metal, 1/4-inch thick metal that I'm going to cut, and I'm going to make my new brackets, because it's literally a flat bracket that's just been over, had 4 holes in it. 2 on the outside, or 1 on each side, allow the bolts to go in on the top control arm, then 2 in the middle, allow these 2 bolts from the shock to go on, and then my spring would set on top of through here. So doing that. But like I said, this is new. I need to still bolt that up. This is new. This is new. This is new. These are new bushings. So again, I'm going to be using the stock 1971 Mavericks spindle, but I am making my own brackets to hold my caliper on. All right, there's my caliper. But to hold it on here, and then I'm using 76 Maverick brake hubs. So yeah, but I still got to finish my steering. I got by putting in the other sway bar in the next steering linkage on here that comes out here to this knuckle. Like I said, that knuckle is sitting over there. That's the Mustangs. The Mavericks are sitting on the side there. So that will go on here, and then bolt everything up. Then I'll have disc brakes. Then I can buy new lines, replace all these old lines. So do that. So yeah, that spraying it with that Rust-Oleum rust preventer turned out really nice. So yeah, got a little bit of cancer here I need to grind out. Grind that down to smooth and clean metal, and then spray over that. That won't be too bad. But yeah, she worked good. She started up just fine. And I did have an off camera before I started recording. I did have an issue with her starting. For some reason, I think it's due to the fuel pump was not pumping fuel up to the carburetor, so I had to fix that. And that's when that what did you call it, hose clamp decided to mess up on me and allow fuel to start leaking out. So luckily I caught it. So I got about 5 gallons of fuel in this thing. So it's good enough to start it up when I want to start it. Make sure I don't have no leaks, which right now, like I said, I think it's just this one valve cover. Fix it. Either maybe the bolts are loose on it, or maybe they just need to be, maybe it didn't seal correctly or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, we had good oil pressure and everything like that, so moving along pretty good. Now, once I get this thing all buttoned up and all that, I am going to pressure wash this car. I'm going to pressure wash this motor and clean this motor up, get all the dust off of here. And I do want to change out that fan system in the radiator to a aluminum radiator, a bigger radiator, and electric fans. So, yeah. And I have been starting, like I said, past video wire tucking. The wire loom is right under this panel right here, zip tied. And so that's going to go bye-bye. This is just a temporary vacuum line. So I need a plug for the carburetor. Then we're going to fix the little odd and ends things. We're going to clean up my lines, my sparkulator cables. I'm going to change my cooler neck right here, up radiator hose, to a more streamlined one since I'm going to get electric fans. And then I'm going to change my water lines. I got to get another line. Then we're going to cover those in that same blue braided stuff. And then, yeah, just clean it up under here. That's basically what I'm doing. I want it to look like a nice engine in it. But then also, when I get this car running and driving, I'm going to start saving up to get this thing rebuilt. Because she is, I'm 34, and this thing was running. I got her running, or Papa Smurf running, back when I was 19, right before I went to school down in Houston. So when she drove down to Houston, she drove back, she drove up to OKC, drove up to Winoka, my dad's place, and drove back from OKC. My daily drove this car. I mean, I was raced this car when she was primered. I mean, this motor's been through a lot. So, but I do really like it. So what I do want to do on the next setup, I want to change the block, because originally I don't have a dipstick in this thing, because Mavericks take a front slump and this is a rear dip slump block. So the dipstick's in the back. I cannot use a dipstick. So I go by the gauge, but I also make sure under my car I don't have puddles of oil under it. And that's how I know, hey, I've got oil in this thing. But yeah, it's not the best way to do it, but hey, it's worked. I do want to see about taking the oil pan off and drilling a hole down there and tapping into there with a dipstick. I don't know if I could do that. Like, take my oil pan off, dump it, take it off, drill through it with a carbide bit, a cobalt bit, and go in there and then tap one in there so it comes out right here. That's an idea. That's something I've been thinking about. I just don't know. I don't want to mess this block up or anything like that. But yeah. So once I'm going to keep a 302 in this car. But when I do redo her, I do plan on getting a different block. Hopefully I can use the same carburetor, same intake. I don't know. I would love to go with a set of aluminum heads and new headers, a bullet oil pan, and then everything up front. Of course, new water pump, electric water pump, and stuff like that. That's what I want to do with the new setup. I would like to go through the transmission and kind of just refresh the transmission if it needs to be, and then keep the flywheel and all that stuff. Maybe switch to a aluminum flywheel. Honestly, I don't know, but that's going to be not anytime soon. Hopefully, if the engine blows, then that's going to be sooner than then. But hopefully it doesn't. You never know when I'm doing like burnouts or racing. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, so that's kind of the ideas for the next setup for this car. But I'm hoping that's going to be when I moved and I have a full shop. I have a lift and everything, and lift this thing and up in the air. And yeah. all that. But you know what? This video's been long enough. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. I'm going to make this one whole video. And yeah, because I don't want to make no hour-long video. So, guys, gals, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I love hearing this car start up. This is my first car I had back when I was 16. And I had just the 6-cylinder in it. I put the 302 in it back when I was 17, 18. Got her around when I was 19. And been having fun with her since then. So, doing all different shenanigans. And you talking about hauling ass, this thing will haul ass. But hopefully you enjoyed the way that thing sound. And make sure you come back for the next one. Now, I know that's good. We can get the wiring officially all done. I can finally start those tail lights and get this car back on the road sooner. It's just nice to know that, hey, she starts up really good. So once everything's getting to the carburetor. So, all right, well, y'all have a good one, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.